Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Dillon Forret of the band Rust and Lapsaria. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, Caffeinated Crew? Today, I'm joined by Dillon, my brother from another mother and another city and another country.
That's me.
From Rust.
This isn't really Dillon, it's Addison. I'm his twin brother. So he's really in bed right now.
Honestly, it could pass because it is audio only, but because I'm looking at you, I know that your ears are more stretched than Addison's.
Yo, like people still mess it up though, and I love it.
Yeah.
Like people that I've known for like 15 years still like sometimes they're like, Addison, what's up? And I'm like, we're not friends anymore. Like, I'm like, look at the ears, man.
Your haircuts are different too. Y'all don't have the identical haircuts.
No. And I've also just let mine go. Like, I think his part's the other way. But like, we're both balding anyways. So it's like, I'm going to have to just start shaving it.
He's also got like a dope ass fade.
I usually do. Yo, Chino, my barber, shout out. Like, he's going to hate me. Like, I'm seeing him tomorrow, literally like 10 a.m. It's been like over a month and I usually go every like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. But don't look at me. I'm glad this is only audio.
Yeah. Well, me too. Because
you look beautiful.
Well, you know why.
Because you're wearing a Rust New Age t-shirt? No.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm wearing a Rust New Age t-shirt.
The one you specifically ordered when we announced it?
For $8.
Yo, what a steal. I should have got one because I don't even know if I'm going to get one.
How do you not get one for free?
We're going to have to find out. Literally, Tommy's the only one that bought one because he's smart.
It was $8. He should have just bought 4. What the fuck, Tommy?
I'm just going to say, yeah.
What are you drinking?
Tim Hortons. Just kidding.
I almost hung up. I literally.
I know. Can you imagine? No, Folgers. Do you know Monogram?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Monogram. It's La Laguenta. I don't know if I said that right. It's just a filter. It's like flavors of emotional breakdowns and hardcore. Milk chocolate, almond, and caramel.
Ooh, it's like a traditional sounding. Is it Colombian?
Yeah. Guatemalan.
Oh.
And it's a washed coffee for anyone that cares, which they should.
They should.
Yeah. But I'm not going to show you the roast date on this because it was definitely last year. Anyways.
Oh, fuck. Are you serious? Were you freezing it, though?
No. Oh, my God. Blasphemy.
Well, if it's sealed, you can freeze it.
Yeah, I just learned something today.
Like, if you have a coffee that you really like, this is just like a word to the wise. I learned this recently.
Oh.
Freezing coffee is useless unless it's in an airtight environment.
Yeah, I've been like shitting on people that like freeze their coffee for like all my life.
Don't freeze ground coffee. Oh. If you have ground coffee,
get out. Just go back to, I don't know, Alaska or something, or wherever you came from. Go as far away from me as possible. If you freeze or if you grind your coffee and like leave it there for like 2 months and still use it, like I'll see you in hell, bro.
The bags of pre-ground coffee, that's what kills me.
Because you don't actually know how old those are. Like there's a date on it, but you're like, that's fine. It tastes like coffee, you know?
If a coffee has a best buy date, like use before date, don't buy it.
No.
Don't buy it.
Legit. Unless you were there roasting it yourself, just don't buy it.
Don't buy it. Um, this is gonna look familiar to you.
Is this so? Oh, I'm gonna cry.
I've
Is
been
that the
waiting.
one? Oh my God. So we
I'm
should have done
drinking.
it.
I'm drinking a Brazil from Ethica Coffee Roasters. Shout out, best coffee roaster, or I would say
Dude,
like top, and this is in the top three best coffee roasters in Toronto. Ethica Coffee Roasters. This is Interstellar. It's their natural fermented Brazilian coffee. Milk
dude.
chocolate, floral, sweet citrus. I am not a lover of Brazilian coffees. I will be very blunt. I'll be very honest. This is a wonderful coffee. It's so good, very complex, but still has that very chocolatey, familiar, like Brazilian character. But the
Dude.
floral notes and the citrus is crazy good.
All right, I'll be there in 6 hours. Give me a minute. Maybe seven, because, after 11 a.m., it's rush hour. So I'll be there in 7 hours. Yo, that sounds so good. I remember
It's
when you
very
bought
good.
it, you were
Yeah.
like hiding it in your jacket like it was a bag of drugs. You were like, look what I got. And you opened like the trench coat.
Yeah.
Um, dude, that was literally my first time going there when we met up there because, I'm an uneducated Neanderthal and I just like don't leave my house or the bus anymore. Like, I hadn't heard of it until you were like, yo, we're going here. And I'm like, okay. And
So that
it's
was my
dope.
first time there too.
But you knew about it already.
I knew about it because I had it at Synonym in Hamilton.
Right.
And it was like very
Dope.
memorable espresso. So I was like, oh, we gotta check it out. We gotta go to the real place.
You know what's memorable? That drink that John got that he just like that he just like put in the dish tray, just like just the walk of shame. And like
He pawned it off on me.
yo, I can't believe you did that. John, I'm calling you out, bro.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it was odd in taste and texture.
Yeah. Oh, it's a texture thing too.
It was weird. It was warm.
Was it thick?
It was thick.
He also spilled it on his white Nikes.
Brand new white, like Air Forces.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even been able to play a show after that. I would have straight up just like gone home. Like,
Yeah.
People can't see what it was, but it was literally like magenta. Like,
it was like this weird, warm rhubarb milk punch
with like a cinnamon stick in it.
and like star anise
Star
and
anise.
orange.
You want to start a band called Star Anise? I think we should.
For fans of
Rhubarb warm punch and Nikes. Sorry, I'm unhinged, dude. So when are we going on tour?
I honestly feel like it's very easily doable because we're all gonna have visas.
Straight up.
You guys are signed, so we're gonna be the next band signed to New Age.
Hell yeah! Like, shout out New Age.
I mean, we haven't even discussed this, but I'm just manifesting it.
Yeah, you have to say it out loud for it to happen.
I know.
I think Rick manifested it, to be honest.
Really?
Because straight up, like when we started writing some new stuff, he was like, well, you always have those talks of like, so like, what do you want to do once we like write some stuff? And we're like, well, obviously record it and then like see what happens and like maybe shop it around. And like, if nobody wants it, we'll just put it out ourselves. But like, if you don't ask, you don't know.
That's true.
And I was like, yo, like what labels do you want to hit up? Or like, who do you want to send it to? And, we had a list and like his first choice on that list was New Age. So it was like pretty wild. I think Rick's probably like the most stoked out of all of us. I mean, we're obviously all beyond stoked and like it's like a dream or whatever. But like Rick just like he manifested the hell out of it because like he's loved New Age forever. And like every time we talked about it, it was just like basically that was the only option.
What was your first choice?
Pure noise. No, I'm kidding.
Dude, you can't have your first time release out on Pure. Come on.
I'm kidding.
I mean, as fun as that would be.
That was a dig.
Sorry, John.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, old band.
Talking about manifesting. Oh yeah, well that too. Speaking about manifesting though, Mundy's Bay reunion.
Yo, do it right now.
Do it, right?
Stop being in every other band, John, and just do Mundy's Bay.
So because this is another Ontario episode, I feel like Ontario loves Mundy's Bay like more than even Montreal. So
more than John.
all of my Ontario people listening, start a petition. Just get as many signatures as you can. We only have like 2 members that we need to convince.
Just
one show reunion, final show.
Yo, speaking of reunions, I mean, not really a reunion, but it just brought to mind that thing I sent you, the Emery tour. Did you see that?
They're not coming here though.
I know.
But they're going to be in Toronto, right?
Shout out Emery. Why aren't you coming here?
They never come to Canada.
Yeah, it's with the Almost. Did you see that?
Oh my God. I didn't see that.
Yeah, they're playing like Southern Weather? Is that the album?
Oh man. That's the best one.
Yeah. So they're both doing albums.
That's the one that Aaron played everything. He recorded it all himself.
That was like one of those moments where I was like, I should just give up on life, because if I can't play drums, play guitar, play bass, and sing, like, why am I even trying? Because like, there's people that just do that, and I'm like, cool, man, I can barely do what I do. Like, but yeah, go ahead. Know like 4 instruments really well, and just like, take over the world. Like, I'll be behind you watching.
Straight up, I started learning guitar way more seriously after that album came out.
Dude, I mean, it is a very influential album to me for sure, because I love Under Oath. I mean, everyone should love Under Oath. At least one album.
I asked this question to Bryce because he was a Christcore kid.
Yeah.
What is the best Under Oath album?
What did he say?
No. I want to know what yours is.
Oh, what mine is. Okay.
He was too young.
Oh, he was in diapers.
Yeah.
I mean, like, obviously mine is like, what is it? You're Only Chasing Safety. That's what it's called, right?
Oh, you like the more emo one?
Oh yeah. Okay. To Find the Great Line is like the best like next step album like for them. But yeah, I started like, Taste of Chaos days, like white belt, like tape the microphone so it looks like like it goes halfway down the mic cable with like yellow tape, and like, you swing it over your head, and like, yeah, like the girl jeans, like that's my vibe. Like
tight shirts.
Yeah. Like Boy Brush Red, like goosebumps.
Okay. So we're okay. Yeah. We're I know that we've shared some moments. We've had some conversations. We're very much cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
Define the Great Line is like for me when metalcore started. What you're saying about Only Chasing Safety, that was like reinventing your exit. When I saw that video, I was like, what? Oh shit, I want to do that.
Yeah, that was literally like, I'll just cover Under Oath. Let's just start an Under Oath cover band. Like,
yeah, right.
like that was that moment in life where, like, at least at my age, like when I was playing drums, like you just like copy like your favorite drummer, like your favorite musician, and like you want to get the same like Truth drum set, and like you want to like set it up the exact same as like your favorite drummer, and like have your cymbals ridiculously high, and like that's just not feasible, but like it looks cool. And like my high tom is like completely flat, which is stupid. Like you're like, yeah, but it looks cool. And that was pretty much, I was just trying to be Aaron Gillespie.
There should be a support group for people like us.
What do you mean, people like us?
Where Aaron Gillespie was our favorite drummer.
Oh, yeah. And
because I made my dad drive me 2 hours on a weeknight once when Under Oath was touring with August Burns Red and Emery.
I think I might have seen that show. Maybe.
It was the Lost in the Sound of Separation tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it hit Toronto. That's
and
just
Constellations. It was like In Shallow Seas from Emery came out. Yeah. And they had all the Christmas decorations on the stage because it was like in the fall.
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, August Burns Red, another one.
Just
like, give Matt me Greiner. All the Wuhan Chinas. Just like all the Wuhans. Like, shout out Wuhan. Like, the only good thing to come out of Wuhan is the China symbol. Like,
but it's got to be like an 18 or bigger, right? It's got to be that a 14 and an 18.
Yeah. The one right in front of you and then the one to the right. I mean, I know now everyone's going left and you're just like, okay, whatever. Yeah. But like nothing better. And it breaks after like one show.
What did you think about that configuration that some people, this was like metalcore. It was very much metalcore and I was more deathcore. So I liked having the ride right next to my rack tom and then China was far right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So like 100%.
But then there were those that would, instead of doing the ride next to the tom, they would do the China next to the tom.
Okay.
And they would, you remember that shit?
I do. Yeah. And then they would do the metal. It.
They would do like the ride far right.
Yeah. Cause like who needs that? Like
it's just for the bell.
Yeah. It's just for the bell. So why not just get a bell? Like screw the ride.
Get the 11-inch Zill bell and you're set.
Dude, I have both of them. Like I straight up have like the really tiny one and then like the big massive one that when you hit it, it just rings forever.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It cuts through anything.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying to like Rick and Rob that I want to use it live and they're just like, nah. I'm like, yo, it's the move. It's coming back. But
so on the demo, on the Bruiserweight demo on Hard Times, you know how it starts with like the hi-hat and there's a bell hit?
Is that...
That's an 11-inch Zill bell. See, or a 9-inch.
You don't need the ice bell. You need the Zill bell. That's the OG one.
The ice bell's lame.
Yeah, it's a knockoff. Let's just be honest.
I've heard it described as a $75 joke.
Yeah, that's probably the most accurate description I've ever heard. Yeah. I'd love to see how much the Zill bells are going for now. Maybe I should just try and sell them since Rick and Rob won't let me use it.
Keep it. No, dude, keep it for real. Use it for Lapsaria.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Yes. Good point.
Blackened Hardcore needs it.
Oh yeah. You can't without it.
How many Warped Tours did you do?
Before I was about to say, oh, just the one, but that was like the douchiest response ever. Like, one. Yeah, 2016. Yeah.
With Like Pacific?
Yes, sir. It was a time.
How fun was it? Was it like the stories that you hear? Was it?
Yes and no. Like, definitely like from going to it. Again, shout out Under Oath from when they like first started doing it like so long ago when they used to have it in Barrie. Mm-hmm. Like that was like mine and Addison's like first one we went to. Like going every year after that, it just like it builds it up so big in your mind, and then like when you're doing it, it's like obviously not the same as like attending it, but like because you're doing it, like we were lucky enough to do it for the whole thing, so it was like almost 2 months, right? And like it's a lot. Like it was obviously incredible being able to see almost like every state and like wake up in a new city every day. And like I think I'm like happier now just thinking back on it, because when you're in it, you're just in it and like it goes by in a blink. Like I can barely remember like more than 7 of the shows because it was just like nonstop, and it's almost like Groundhog Day, right? You're just like you're like you see the same people, the same stages, the same like conservation area or like wherever you're playing,
Yeah.
like amphitheater, and it all looks the
Some
same.
parking lot, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You're like, oh, sick. Like I'm in New Orleans. Like, but am I? Like it it was obviously amazing. Like the best part was like having my dad there with me. Cause did I tell you he drove?
Oh, he drove the bandwagon?
Oh yeah.
That's dope.
Dude, like shout out best driver ever, my dad.
I
he
didn't
yeah,
know that.
he took the summer off work because he was like, who are you getting to drive this, 60-foot vehicle with the massive trailer on the back 9 hours every night? Like one of your buddies? Like, I don't think so. Like thinking back, I'm like, thank God he drove because like we probably would have ended up like on the side of a mountain. Like,
yeah,
he had never driven a bigger vehicle than like, a moving truck. And he was just like, I'll figure it out because he just wanted me to be safe. Plus, I think he just wanted to be a rock star because, he's the coolest. But yeah, he drove us every single night, like overnight, 11, 12 hours sometimes, like just insane. Like, so getting to like, and we shared the bandwagon with another band because, when you're playing like the tinier stages, you don't get paid that much. And like renting a bandwagon is like not cheap. And then like filling it up with gas is not cheap. So like to split the cost, there was like literally 13 people in this bandwagon.
What was the band y'all shared it with?
Safe to say. They were from like Toronto, Markham area as well. What were they? They were on a label, I can't remember. Anyways. Yeah, I don't think they were a band anymore, but yeah, we shared with them. And then yeah, like there's only what 9 or 10 bunks in the thing. So like two people were like sleeping on the couches, and then like occasionally I had this blow up mattress that I brought, and I would like put it literally in like the aisle and just like sleep on that under like the air conditioner that made it like -30 in the bandwagon. Like, yeah. Dude, the best was like being in Arizona. It was like 110. And then like you'd go into the bandwagon and then you'd literally be in like a sweater and like sweatpants. And you could literally watch the air conditioner just like freeze over. It was like so fantastic. But yeah, best time was just like driving through, the mountains, watching the sunrise with my dad, and like going to different coffee shops, like wherever we were, and like going to like a brewery, and like, just hanging out with like all the bands that I grew up like listening to and loving, and then just seeing them walk around. I was just like, whoa, that's crazy. And like being able to see Every Time I Die every day, and like Whitechapel, and like just like what? Veil Maya, like all those bands. And like I think about it so much. I'm just like, man, I wish I'd been able to watch more sets of like more bands, because I go back and look at the lineup now and I'm like, what was I doing? Like, what did I think was more important than like watching this band every day? Because like, yeah, I guess it was because I stayed up all night like with my dad. Well, I tried to, at least when he was driving, to like just hang out and like keep him awake or whatever. Because that's hard, man. Like, again, me driving all night, like, I don't know how he did it. It's just like the thought of falling asleep driving is like the scariest thing to me. And like, again, like he just wanted to keep us safe. So I'm just glad he did it. Cause like, yeah, if I brought like a friend to do it, like we'd be dead for sure. Like,
yeah.
So it was sick though. Like definitely a bucket list thing that like, I mean, now that Warped Tour is not even a thing anymore, it's like I'm even more grateful that I got to do it once. Like, yeah. Did you ever get to do it?
No, and I never even got to go.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Right, goodbye.
Yeah, I know. I'm a poser.
Dude, no. I feel for you, for real.
The closest it would ever come was Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah.
And the one time that I got offered, so some friends from high school were driving down.
Yeah.
But my parents were out of town and I was staying with like my aunt and uncle. Yeah. And I had a free ticket and a ride.
What?
And I know, but it was like kind of last minute. So I called my parents. I'm like, hey, like I just got, to Warped Tour. And they were like, oh no, like we don't know the people that you're going with.
Oh
like,
my God. Yeah.
I was like, are you serious? Like all
Unless
of my
we
favorite
call
bands
their
are playing.
parents.
Yeah. I was like, can we work something out here? Cause like I would really like to go. And they're like, no.
It's life changing. Like some of my fondest memories for sure. Just like, I think like, who was it? Like one of the first ones, like it's always me and Addison like going together. And like, I think we went a couple times with like my cousins and stuff. And like, it was just always, one of those things where you just see all your friends and like spend the whole day with them and like, not drink enough water and like, buy $10 slices of pizza. And then like, but like, as long as you were front row for like your favorite band, it was like the dopest shit. Like, when Protest a Hero was playing like the Ernie Ball stage, like the smallest stage ever, like I got to see Throwdown play like the smallest little stage. And
that's
like,
so scary.
Yeah, it was like Alexis was there and like Senses Fail and Atreyu. Shout out Atreyu. Love that band.
Hot take.
Yeah, I know. Okay, first 2 or 3 albums.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
Like Suicide Notes and Butterfly Kisses, is that what it was called?
Yeah, I'll give you
Best.
That one. Yeah.
Lip Gloss and Black, all the way.
Next, you're gonna like shout out Black Veil Brides.
Oh yeah, okay, come on. Don't even put me in that category. Like, you gotta give me a little more credit. Like, it's because the first concert, like my brother and I went to, like without our parents kind of thing, like when we were kids, it was at a place called the Cool House in Toronto. It was like by the water. I think it's like an LCBO now, or it's just not there anymore. But it was Taking Back Sunday headliner, Atreyu, and Funeral for a Friend.
Whoa.
Dude, like first time I ever saw like moshing or like people throwing down, and I was like, what are they doing? Like the first time I ever saw arms flailing at a show, and I was like, is this what people do? And then like obviously I embraced the hell out of it. Yeah. And like from that moment on, I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, but yeah, like I had no idea who like Funeral for a Friend was, and like I just started listening to Atreyu. I know my brother loved Funeral for a Friend, and like I was just getting into them, but to be able to see them and like thinking about it now, I'm just like, that was wild. Because being all the way from overseas, and then like I think they put out their first album, and then they were touring that, and then like Hours was, I think, maybe out, maybe not. But did you listen to that album?
No. So I only knew them like briefly because I got into like Taking Back Sunday. Yeah. I was never into really Atreyu, but I was like, but that's just me. I had friends that were like very much into that first album, like first 2.
Yeah. Losers like me. Yeah.
Yeah. No. It was, it just wasn't like, I don't know. It didn't capture my attention like something like, this is going to sound so cringe.
No, but, say it.
The demo and Count Your Blessings from Bring Me the Horizon.
Yo, we could talk about that for hours. Like, best ever. Like,
hot take, Bring Me the Horizon, still very good band. Don't come for me.
I love that band.
Very good band.
Yo, I listen to that new Kool-Aid song all the time.
I haven't even heard that one. I heard there were split reviews about it.
Oh, dude, it's sick. Like, again, shout out Addison, best twin brother ever. He like was on my ass. Like, listen to this song. Like, have you listened to it yet? And I was like, I can't even get over the fucking album art. Like, it's literally pink with like a skull Kool-Aid jug. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, I'm just imagining it sounding like baby metal or something, right? And I'm just like, I can't. So then like we're on the phone and he was like, hang up right now and like go listen to it. So I'm like, okay, fine. And then I listened to it like a couple times in a row because it was like catchy as fuck. And then I called him back and I was like, I'm surprised you like this. Cause like he's more into like the harder shit now. And like he's less about like all that, how do I describe it? How do you say
How you say?
How do you say? Um, like, the metal with like the auto tune parts, like the singing and like all that stuff. Like, I'm like more into that kind of shit. Like
Attack.
Oh yeah. I mean, we both had our phases, right? Like, loved Attack's first album.
If you're a 30-year-old, if you're like early 30s,
yeah,
late 20s, and you play anything like metalcore, metallic hardcore, even like hardcore, and you say that you didn't listen to that first Attack album, you're a liar. You are a liar.
Come find me.
Straight up, we will fight, because I know for a fact every single person, unless you were like a new jack and you got into hardcore, and this is not a dig, but if you started playing hardcore like after or in the middle of the pandemic, but if you were like before, where you were like into Hot Topic core, you definitely.
Or Spencer's core. Did I tell you I got to see Bring Me's first show in Toronto?
No. Was it on Count Your Blessings?
Yeah. Dude, like prime, like American Apparel V-neck days, like
deep V.
Deep like to the belly button. Yeah. Like the stripe one that was like white and like gray. So it was like almost see-through, like when you sweat. And like prime, like, my hair covers my one eye era.
Oh,
like,
yes.
It was a place called the Fun House, and it was I think it was Bury Your Dead played. I know. I can't even believe I'm saying those two bands together, but that was a thing. Like, seeing them together.
That makes sense. Yeah. There was a time when deathcore and hardcore were like very close. It was just moshy.
Mm-hmm. That's basically what it was. Like, I just wanted to hear Tell Slater and like Pray for Plagues. And like, it definitely, like, thinking back now, I'm like, that was probably horrible, but like, it was like the best show ever. Dude, every show, best show ever. Like, come on. Seeing where they are now, though, it's like something that gives me hope. You know what I mean? Like, they're one of the bands that like made it, right?
Yeah.
Like, them and Architects, like, they've been doing it since like early, 2007, 2006,
dude,
maybe
like
2006,
even before.
Yeah. Like, and for them to still be playing and now like selling out arenas like all over the world, it's like, it's possible. Like,
because like looking back, like it was stupid. Like the music was stupid.
For sure.
The fashion was stupid. Like,
but here we
was all really dumb.
Now we're all just want to be hardcore dudes.
I know. And they're going on like 20 years of doing that. Banking on 20 years of just stupid shit. Like
pig squeals and discords and like all the double bass. Like,
just so much double bass.
Just like breakdown, two-step, auto-tune part, breakdown, slower breakdown, ring out into the next one.
They were the first deathcore, or like they were deathcore related, that used like orchestral parts.
Bro.
You remember that?
I've just life-changing. Like, like it shows you can literally put anything in a song and it'll work. Like, it just has to be good.
You gotta be good.
Yeah. Like, Bring Me's like progression over all their albums was like perfect. Same with Architects. Like, again, I didn't love every song, but like it made sense what they were doing, because it's like you can't just play Pray for Plagues for 20 years and like be successful. Like, sorry. Like, but now that like hardcore is like super sick to the masses and like metal is like even more prominent, and like I'm just happy to be alive in this time, because like, I didn't get to grow up when hardcore first happened.
Right.
And like, a lot of people are probably going to hate me on this, but like, I wasn't into hardcore for the longest time. Like, when I was a kid, like, I was more like, oh, I'm so punk, like Blink-182, like all that stuff, right? Like, it was like Linkin Park and like that kind of stuff. POD, shout out.
POD, man, shout out.
Best, man. Like that kind of stuff, and like The Clash and like Sex Pistols. Like that was stuff that I started to listen to growing up because shout out my parents. Like without them, like I wouldn't be listening to anything that I listened to. Like they were always playing music in the house, like from The Clash to like Queen to like Supertramp, like Michael Jackson, like whatever. Like the CD collection and vinyl collection was like through the roof. Like I can vividly remember my mom being like, "You got to get rid of some of these. Like there's just too much." And my dad would just like hide them in different places in the house.
Yeah.
But like she thought he like got rid of some, but like he didn't.
He's probably got an Alan Jackson CD.
Oh, 100%. 100%. The amount of like CDs I have that I just like took from my parents and like never gave back. Like definitely a Jack Johnson CD or two. But like, yeah, like Addison was like the reason I got into like harder music because he was the one that was like embracing like The Used and like Take Back Sunday and like even like bands like Copeland and like
oh fuck, I haven't heard that name in a really long time.
Copeland, shout out. If you want to get emotional and have a breakdown, like put on some Copeland, bro.
Put on some Copeland.
That coffee song, the best. Speaking of coffee.
Speaking of coffee.
Yeah, it's like Addison got me into all that stuff. And I used to like, I'd hear him blasting it in the bedroom and I'd be like, yo, turn that shit off, like whatever. And like we grew up in that age where like, yeah, you were just surrounded by what metalcore and deathcore and all those bands. And then like the hardcore world was like totally separate and like everyone hated on each other. And it was like, I didn't appreciate at that time like what hardcore was. And I'm like just glad that now I do over the last like 7-8 years. Because before I was just like, oh, it all sounds the same. I was like that typical, idiot response of like, oh, it doesn't sound different. It's not cool. Like whatever. It's just
the recordings aren't polished.
Yeah. I don't have that Joey Sturgis 808 like Devil Wears Prada like shit. Like Devil
Wears Prada. Shout out,
Kyle. Love you. But yeah, like I didn't appreciate it at the time, and like I grew up going to shows and seeing hardcore bands and like because they were on the same bill. Like it was back in the day when you'd have like a ska band, like an emo band, like a hardcore band, and like a metalcore band all together. So like being exposed to all that at once was amazing. But every time like a hardcore band came on, I'd be like, whatever. Every song sounds the same, and I would just like not pay attention.
Right.
But now I think it's like that kind of stuff that gets me going more than like the polished, breakdown emo auto-tune stuff that I used to love.
It is an interesting like evolution, but like how we grow as people, I think, because now I remember being like, oh, it's not polished, or like it's not the heaviest breakdown I've ever heard, or like
there's not enough double bass, like
it's not impressive.
But
now when I go back and listen to some of the things that like I would have kind of turned off or like skipped,
right
it's I really regret like taking for granted the bands. Like things like Bane, I know that when I was like 17, if I would have heard Bane, I would have been like, why are his vocals like that? Or like
vividly like same. Like
but now it's like I listen to like those lyrics and the way that they were like writing the music and the hooks. And I'm like, this is insanely emotional. Like it's got so much like heart.
Yeah, dude.
And like most of that metalcore shit was just like idiot teenagers writing the heaviest riffs that they could.
Which is like what we're just trying to emulate now anyways. Like we're just trying to be idiot teenagers like with like 30-year-old bodies that just like
that hurt.
All the time. Now we're just trying to like recreate that sound and like maybe do a little different, but I appreciate it so much more now. And like I'm just glad I like woke up and realized that hardcore is fucking sick. And like I wish I'd been able to like back in the day go to more hardcore shows as opposed to like Sky Eats Airplane and like all that shit. Like
Nintendo
shout out
Core.
Nintendo Core. Like Horse the Band shit. Like
Horse the Band, dude. That shit was crazy.
The Pizza EP. Like let's go. Like
fucking skies. You remember a Skylit Drive?
Dude, this week I had a playlist on, like just like I don't even remember. I think it was like I can't remember what the playlist was called, but I just put on a random one on Spotify, and it had like A Day to Remember, and it had like all those bands I listened to growing up, and then like a song came on, and I was like, who the fuck is this? Like I knew it, I knew all the words, I knew all the parts, and like it took a good 30 minutes for me to be like, holy fuck, that was a Skylit Drive. Like it's so funny that you brought that name up because
North Carolina.
Literally, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dude, that was prime. Like, the singer needs to sing the highest possible for it to be sick. Like,
the first time I heard them, I was like, is this a woman or a man? Like, I have no idea who this vocalist is. And then it's like a dude, but it was the highest singing.
Yeah. Like, I can't even recreate it. Like, it's not happening.
Nope, definitely not. Yeah, I can barely sing higher than Silverstein. So,
also, thank you for reminding me how good Silverstein is. Because the minute that we parted ways 2 weeks ago, I like put on that album and I was like, God damn. I was like, my emotions just like got the best of me.
If you only know how often Silverstein plays in my house.
Dude, isn't it playing right now?
It is. I can hear it. You hear
Your
it?
wife. Yeah. Playing my heroin.
Yeah. Smile in your sleep. That's the most played track.
Dude, like iconic. Like shout out Burlington, Ontario.
I feel like I always have to remind Canadians that like
you do.
Silverstein is an iconically good band.
Yeah, we had this conversation. Like I took it for granted. 100%.
I saw them 20 times when I was a teenager. It's like, okay, I saw them twice after the age of 30. Like, get out of my face.
I saw them before they were 30. Yeah, like, dude, like, definitely took that for granted. Like, you know, seeing them at YMCAs and stuff. Like,
yeah.
And like, I'm glad that you brought that up though, because it made me check myself. Like, just like thinking back on how many shows I've been able to go to and see, it's just like, it's pretty insane. Like, not everybody gets to do that, or not everybody gets to go to shows. Like, not everybody gets to experience that kind of stuff. And like, I was lucky enough to have parents that were like, yeah, we'll take you, like, as long as we know you're safe, kind of shit. Right. But yeah, there's definitely those parents that were like, a show? Like what? Like a theater show? Like, is that where you're going to? Like a musical? Yeah, you could call it that. But yeah, some people weren't allowed to go to shows growing up. And like, luckily we had parents that trusted us enough to like go to that Optimist Hall down the street and watch like 8 bands play on a floor. And like, you know, it was definitely not everybody's cup of tea, but like they were like, if that's what you love, if that's what you want to do, like go for it. They were just glad we weren't like, you know, staying at home all day playing video games and doing drugs and like being delinquents or whatever. I mean, that came later, but like, you know, like clearly, look at me. I'm sitting in my car. I live in my car.
You live in your car.
Yeah, well, pretty much.
You live in a van or a bus. Yeah.
Shout out my parents living in a van.
Dude, I forgot about that. I was trying to remember whose parents live in a van.
My parents. Yeah. Honestly, I blame Warped Tour. Like, that was the
planted like, the seed.
It did though. Like, no joke. Like, my dad will tell you, like, if you ever meet him, that living out of a suitcase for like 2 months made him realize that he didn't need all that shit. That was and that was when they started downsizing and like getting rid of stuff. And that was when like the tiny home movement was like taking off and stuff. Yeah. And like I can quote my mom just being like, we're never doing that. Like, are you crazy? And like now they've been living in a van for like over 2 years, like full time, and like sold their house, literally just have a storage unit with like some stuff, probably all the records. And then just like, yeah, he was like, that made me realize I don't need, you know, the white picket fence and like the lawn that I have to cut every day or the driveway I have to shovel and like all the, appliances you got to take care of. He's like, he just wants to like see the world and like live that way, which is like, I think the best way to do it. Mm-hmm. Like they've definitely traveled more than they've ever have in like the last 2.5 years living in a van. Like, again, like, oh, we're never going to Mexico. They went to Mexico. Like, they straight up have driven all over North America. And I'm like, can I just do that now instead of like when I'm retired? Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's definitely one of the reasons I wanted to be in a band and like play music, is just to like be able to travel and hang out with friends and like, see the world and just like go to all the coffee shops that I can. That's the main goal, man. Like,
yeah, drink as many coffees and see as many cities as possible.
Like that was literally the Warped Tour. It was just like, all right, get to the venue. All right, when are we playing? Like, okay, gonna go take an Uber to like said coffee shop. Like, didn't get to go to as many as I wanted, but like still being able to even go to like 5 or 6 like was amazing. Like Barista Parlor, and like there was a couple in like I think Denver that I went to, and like even in Jacksonville. You were talking about Jacksonville before. Like just being able to try different coffees like in different cities was like, that made it for me. Like I don't know. I know I'm like kind of a coffee snob, and like people like hate on that shit. And they're like, why are you making us go out of the way to get coffee? And I'm like, because it's worth it. Like, you don't understand. like, come to my world. Like,
you're the one coffee person in Rust.
I am. Yeah. Like Rob, shout out Rob, love you, but you're not a coffee person. You say you are. He's gonna hate me for this later. He is. He's
gonna smack you around for that.
I'm gonna see him tomorrow, and he's gonna be like, what the fuck? No, Rob appreciates coffee. I know that. And Rick too. Like, I've been able to have a few of those moments with Rick, like even when we were in Montreal, and like, dude, this is a core memory now. Like when we went to, was it Cafe Pista?
Pista, yeah.
Yeah. And like we all got pour overs, and like there was 8 or 9 of us just in that cafe, and like so many people just like walked out because they came in and saw all of us idiots just standing there like making the baristas make all these pour overs. And like I think that was Rick's like first time having one.
Yeah.
And he straight up went, it tastes like tomato soup. And I've never had more of a prouder moment of like, because he said it and like was so worried that like I was gonna be mad or be like, yo, you're stupid. But like I'm like, no. Like tasting tomato in a coffee is totally a thing.
It's good.
It's good. And he was like, oh, like it's kind of earthy. And I was like, oh my God, he's using the right words too. Like
it's his awakening.
Totally. Cause like, I'm selfishly just like trying to get him more into coffee and less on the energy drinks, because I don't want his heart to explode. But like that man's entire being is energy drinks. I don't think he has blood in his body.
No, it's a plasma C4 energy. It's a plasma taurine mixture is what runs through his veins.
That's what they give him if he goes to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, they don't hang a bag of blood. They hang a bag of C4, taurine. Taurine. Or whatever ghost drink he's drinking. But
dude, whenever we were playing Quebec City, the man's drinking, it's like 8 p.m. and he's drinking 2 primes.
Oh yeah. And then he probably had another one after. Like,
it's 140 milligrams of caffeine.
Grayson, literally the first time we played Quebec City, I think he cracked one at like 3 a.m. and like went to sleep.
How?
That's when you know. Like it doesn't. I'm like, is it even doing anything for you?
He has a problem. That's a problem. That's an issue.
Let's start another petition to get Rick some help.
We're gonna get an intervention.
Maybe Rick. That's why he writes such sick riffs, though.
Dude, like, the riffs are hard.
Rick is like the riff master.
And nobody knows this, but I've heard the EP. Okay.
What EP? I'm kidding.
I've heard
Thumbs
the
up.
EP. Right. I've heard the EP.
It's mid.
It's so good, dude. It is
Oh my
like you were
God,
playing
stop.
it in the car, and it has the most like it has the right amount of bass drops.
Bringing it back.
It has like everything that you want in a metallic hardcore
bro.
EP. And then you didn't even tell us that you were signing to New Age. So
I was the only one that kept the secret, I think.
Yeah, I don't even think. Well, I don't know if Rob told.
Oh, he definitely told them. Yeah. I think, yeah.
It was so funny because you're like, don't tell Rob, don't tell anyone in Rust. And then we get back and John's like, Rob showed me the EP. And I'm like, man, y'all can't hold
that was
like
the best.
Anything.
That was, Tommy's going to be so mad when he hears this. But because we had like so many serious conversations, like no one can hear this. Like, don't show anybody, don't send it to anybody. And I was like, well, like if it's like on in the car when like Grayson and Nick and Ryan get in, like, oops.
Yo, like, in fairness, we did show the new Bruiserweight music too. So it wasn't like
it was a trade.
It was a tit for tat.
Yeah. Like it's the new bartering system. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. like this canceled. Canceled immediately. Shout out. But yeah, like
you did bring up Architects a suspicious amount. Okay.
I did. Whoops.
No, because you know the whole Architects thing now.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's okay.
But no, man. Seriously, thank you for saying all that, because I am like horrible at taking compliments, and like I never feel like it's good enough, and I never feel like my playing's enough, or like whatever I'm writing is good enough. But like, I know you wouldn't just say that. So thank you.
I mean, I understand too. I can be very self-deprecating when like people like the shit that I'm into.
Yeah. You're like, are you deaf? Like, I'm like straight up just like, it could be better all the time.
That's the thing, but that's not a bad way to be. But I think there's a line where it's like, you got to be stoked on your shit, but also it's like,
I'm definitely stoked. Yeah. But like, it's like that moment when you get back like the masters and you're just like, okay, this is what all that work's been for, kind of thing. Like, and I just want everybody to hear it because I'm like proud of it. But like without Rick, like none of this would have happened. Like he is literally not human. Like he's too good. And he's probably more self-deprecating than me. Like he doesn't think it's good enough. But like the amount of like he literally sent over all the demos. Like he wrote pretty much all the new stuff. Like him and Rob and Tommy were working on it together, and like he had already programmed like some of the drums just to have like a bass. And then like I didn't really change it that much. Like I added a little bit here and there, but like it's kind of like we shared the same brain in that moment. Like the songs he wrote with the drums that he had just put there, I was like, that works. Like that's sick. Yeah. I was like, thanks for making my job easier. Like I'll show you those demos one day, or maybe I'll just put it on a B-side and be like, this is what it was and this is what it is.
Demo version.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I'm just like, it's not even out yet, and I'm just like wanting to write more. Like I never want to stop. Like I feel like we could probably record a whole album. Like we don't have that material, but like I'm just like I just want to keep going, because once it's out, I'm like, we gotta do more. We gotta like write more. We gotta record.
Yeah.
Like, because people, I feel like the attention span now of people these days is like so minimal that like if you're not pumping out music like every few months, people just forget about you. And like,
that's why, don't do full lengths. Do singles and EPs, and then just put something out every 3 months.
Yeah. Straight up though, like because yeah, I'm guilty of it. Like if I don't hear new stuff every so often, I just move on,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's like something that I completely fell in love with. Like you're just always searching for that next like that high or whatever of like what music makes you feel. You're like, okay, like, and like I'll go back, but unless you're being reminded all the time, it's hard. Like I think that's the only problem that social media has created these days is just like making it so accessible and so easy. Like, 2, 3 second videos and you're just swiping, you're seeing a new song from this band, a new video from this band, and then you're just like, it's so hard to pay attention.
Yeah.
And to differentiate. Cause, before growing up, you'd have to like put your demos burn it on a CD and like go give it to somebody, or like you'd have to illegally download it on LimeWire or like on Napster. Like what the hell? Like now you just open up your phone and it's there.
It's there.
Like remember having to like load stuff onto your phone, like connect your phone to the computer and like drag and drop like songs
mini
on
SD cards. I had a Moto Rocker,
bro,
which was like the MP3 player phone.
Yeah.
And it had a mini SD
that you had
in
to
the
put
side. So I could put it in my computer, load all my songs on from LimeWire, and then fucking
bro. Like
sick.
We had it so rough.
Dude. Like, but I remember every song that was on my phone.
And that's what I'm saying though, right? Is like that was the time where I feel like you appreciated it so much more because the effort that you had to put in to like have it and like it wasn't as accessible. So like, yeah, that demo CD you got with like Trustkill bands or like Forret record bands, like
the samplers, man. We need more samplers.
The Victory Records samplers, man. Like, come on.
Even like, the Run for Cover. I had a Run for Cover sampler with like it was before this was before like the Armed or like oh fuck, what's the name of that fucking band? Drug Church.
Oh shit, yeah.
It was his other band, Self Defense Family.
Oh, I remember them, yeah.
I love that band still. So it had tracks from them, Tiger's Jaw, Turnover, like Citizen.
We could talk about Turnover and Citizen like all day. Like,
dude, still one of the best pop punk splits ever made. It's the 7-inch Citizen Turnover.
Was that like with Permanent and like No Sun?
Bro. Yes.
Chills, literal chills. Like
I swear to God, I made new grooves in that 7-inch.
Bro, like, again, shout out Addison because he definitely got me into that stuff when I was like, what is this emo shit? Like,
so
I don't
sad.
know.
Why is this so sad?
I don't want to be sad all the time. I've just like the last 8 years has just been me trying to like mask my feelings. Just like, I'm hardcore now. But I like secretly.
I don't feel emotions.
Yeah, no. Like, literally last week, like, I finally listened to Arm's Length. And like it made me feel things that like I have not felt in so fucking long.
That's why you did the cover.
That's why I did the cut. Yo, exactly. Like it made me feel so much that I was like, okay, I think I've listened to that album like 5 times a day since like last 2 weeks ago about. And like for over a year, Addis has been like, have you listened to Arm's Length yet? And I'm like, like I'll get to it. Like
fuck, now I gotta listen to Arm's Length. God damn it.
Put on their most recent album, like front to back. It was one of those like epiphany moments for me. Like it reminded me of like when I first heard like, did you ever like The Dangerous Summer?
No.
Okay. Like
I never heard them.
I'll send it to you later. They put out an album called Reach for the Sun. I can't remember what year it was, but that was one of those like albums front to back that like I'll still put on, and it like changed my life. Like it was just so good. And like the way the songs were written and like how the drumming wasn't like the stereotypical, like, pop punk beat and like, slow part, whatever. Like the drummer was doing different things and it like caught my attention. And then like, it wasn't that typical like verse, chorus, like outro. That's kind of like Arm's Length kind of reminds me of like The Dangerous Summer and like stuff like that. And just, I'm like, oh, and they're from Belleville. Like, they're Ontario boys. Like, so sick. And now I regret not seeing them. Like, they literally just played Hamilton twice with Counterparts like 2 weeks ago. And like my brother went to both shows, and now I'm like crying inside because I'm like,
Oh,
I would have lost my mind. Like, if I should have gone, but I didn't listen to them. I was like, I'll get to it.
wait, so Counterparts played 2 Hamilton shows?
Yeah, sold out both of them. With I think was it Milspec was on? I think
Where?
it was at the Bridge Works, I think it's called.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like a bigger one of the
it's
bigger
like 800,
Hamilton.
500,
Yeah.
800 cap. Yeah.
Yeah, like I saw Comeback Kid there last year. But yeah, Counterparts did like 2 hometown shows, I guess, and yeah, sold them both out. And like I worked both those nights, so I was like, I can't go. And now I'm like, I should have just called in sick.
Yep.
And just gone because it would have been sick.
That's why I'm so mad, because y'all have the video shoot coming up.
Oh yeah.
In March.
Oh, you coming?
I can't.
I don't hear what. Sorry, what? You're breaking up.
We're in the Maritimes. Why'd y'all schedule it for then? Yes.
I'm throwing Rob under the bus. No.
He should have known.
No, it actually is Mr. David Pratt's fault for taking his amazing girlfriend on a European adventure at the end of February, because we would have done it then. It's okay.
God damn it.
Honestly, I wish we had already done it. Like, I just want to put it out. I just want to do it. Like, it hasn't even happened yet. But yeah, that show is gonna be wild. Like, it kind of reminds me of like the first Steel City show that Rob put on. It's literally the same lineup except like minus one band. And like, love Gavel, love all those dudes. SOV, Reality Denied. It's like stacked. And that other band, Die Alone, Rob's other band.
That other band.
Yeah. Dying Yeetus, shout out.
Dying Yeetus.
The best. No, I love all of them. It's just gonna be a homie hang, and like, just gonna be fun. Like, Rick rented a warehouse, and we're getting a stage, and we're just gonna.
That's gonna be crazy.
Hopefully, not get shut down.
Well, if you have, you got the proper paperwork.
Yeah. Totally, it's written in crayon. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, because I think that's literally gonna be our first show of the year. Like, we don't have anything planned for February. And like nothing really planned for the rest of the year yet, but we're definitely trying to, do things.
Y'all have state stuff.
Yeah, we're trying. We're definitely trying. Like, we're talking to a few bands right now, trying to see if we can do some stuff, but we haven't like solidified anything.
Yeah.
Because the whole visa process is such a joke, right? Like,
did y'all apply already?
Yeah, like we've all paid like our dues and stuff to like the CFM or the AFM or whatever, but we haven't like physically applied for the actual visa that we need.
Okay.
Because we need to have like dates to do that. So, Did you guys do that yet?
Yeah, Jess is helping us with the dates.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
And she's doing like the whole process thing.
Yeah.
But we're paid up. We're already paid.
Yeah.
So
it sucks when you gotta like. I paid for the whole year.
It's a lot of money, dude. Oh my God.
People don't realize, like,
I had to pay too. I didn't think I was gonna have to pay.
Like, because you're an American.
No, it's because I have PR now.
Oh, right.
So because I have PR, I still have to be on the visa.
Should have just been an illegal, man.
I should have just kept my fucking mouth shut.
Legit. You sound Canadian enough now.
Eh?
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Yeah, like we've paid for the year pretty much. But yeah, like I say this all the time, like being able to come to Canada from the States as a band, like if you're American, is like such a privilege. Like, you don't have to do anything. You just come.
You just play.
Yeah. And like, it's not that easy for us. Like, you each have to pay like $250 just for the year, like each band member, and then you have to pay for the actual visa itself to go down and play.
which is like $600.
Yeah. And like if you don't have enough dates for the entire year, then you have to get another one.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time you go over. Like if you don't have set dates for like the entire year, like the visa runs out. Then you have to apply for another one. So they don't make it easy. So we're all just like, why don't we just go to the UK or Europe? Like, let's do that first.
I mean, that's why like Cancer Bats and Get the Shot have done that so often.
Because it's more lucrative, I think.
It's easier, but like if like in that genre that they play,
yeah,
it makes sense. But for like hardcore, especially, it's hardcore's in the US.
So true. All those FYAs and LDBs and Sound and Furies, like it's where it's at for sure. But yeah, we definitely want to try to go to the UK this year and in Europe if we can.
Mm-hmm.
If you know we're financially stable enough.
If the stars align.
If the stars align, you know, Bruiserweight Rust tour. And
Rob's been mentioning West Coast.
To you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he mentioned it to me and John.
Dude, let's go.
We should do it.
I'm down. We'll go right now.
Let's go right now. Pack it up. Let's go.
Yeah, man, I'm in the car already. I'm
already on the way.
Yo, like, I would love to do that because it's popping off out there, I feel like, especially in the mid and like Vancouver and stuff. Like, we should do it. But you're going to the Maritimes
in March.
Nice.
And then in May, we're doing the States.
The States, yes. Dude, that's going to be insane. If we don't end up coming down to play, I'll just come and hang.
Just do merch.
Yo, for real, I'll do it. I'll drive the tour bus that you guys are going to have.
Our bandwagon?
Yeah, your bandwagon. You're
$4,000 a day.
Yeah, legit. Like, your guarantee will cover that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me all your per diems and it'll be fine.
It's only half our, like, I think we're making $10,000 guarantees. So, yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Despised Icon. Yeah.
Fuck. God, that's a band.
Despised Icon doesn't even make that, like, as much as people would think.
I believe it. Like, I feel like back when they first came out, like, that was one of those bands that, like, I would see people, like, wearing their merch when I was, like, you know, into bands like Attack and stuff like that. And I was like, who's that? Like, because I saw so many people, like, talking about them and repping them. And then, like, the first time I heard them, it flipped a switch in my head. And I was like, that's sick. Like,
that's heavy.
That's heavy. Like, yo, pig squeals and, like, the fucking gravity blasts and, like, sounding like a literal fake drum machine, but like can actually play the parts. Like, Like, another one of those drummers where I'm just like, why do I even try? Like,
I don't know. It's watching him and then watching Flo from Cryptopsy. I'm like,
just like I'm just gonna stay in my house all day and never leave. Like, I can't play that fast. Like, I wish I had the time to like figure it out, but like. I
need lessons.
Yeah, yo, I took them for a bit when I was first starting, like probably about 6 years. I did lessons, and like that was, you know, thank God my parents made me do that because, like, I mean, I don't know where I'd be right now. Like, I mean, maybe I would have found my way here, but like having those lessons definitely like helped build a foundation for me, like on like how to actually play the drums and like. My teacher taught me how to write music, like listen to the song and like write out the part. And like, I guess that's not as common of like, I thought everybody did it, but like, I guess not. Like,
so you can read?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That's literally like the only way I can like learn a song. Like, I'm so jealous of like people that can just listen to it and then just like play it. Like, I could do that to a point, but like, if I don't nail like one fill in the song or like one part of the song, if I mess it up a little or play something different, it like bothers the fuck out of me. Like, I'm OCD as hell. So like, I need to play every single note that drummer, like, if I don't hit that floor tom, like, I might as well just give up. Like, so I have to listen to it, write it down, and just learn it that way, because then I know I'm hitting every note, hopefully.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a me problem. Like, so like when I joined Rust, I like listened to all the songs and like wrote them all out and then like learned them that way. And like my process is just like I'll read it while I'm playing and then like slowly start to like not look at the music when I'm playing it until I get it. Like at one point it just clicks and then I can remember it. Learning music's wild to me.
Yeah.
Like, cause there is a lot going on in some songs, and then like to be able to just make your body do that is just like insane. Like it's wild to me. Like, how am I able to read the music and play at the same time and listen to the song? Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Well, like it's interesting that you write it out and then learn that way. Because I just like I Nick Cannon and drumline it, where I just like listen to it like
best movie
50 times and then I can play it. Like I've auditioned before, like who did I play with recently where I was like I had to learn their set basically.
Yeah.
And
you just listen to it a lot.
I watched a live set like 100 times over the course of a week, and then I like showed up and played.
I'd be shitting my fucking pants.
I know I mean, luckily it wasn't super high stress, but
yeah,
I could write it out honestly.
Yeah.
And read it.
Yeah.
But I'm so lazy that I don't want to do those extra steps. I'd rather just fucking learn it to where like in my sleep, I can sing the set back.
Totally.
But that's how I've always learned.
Yeah. There's no right or wrong way.
Yeah. I mean, I can still read, like I can write it out.
That's dope. Good for you.
I don't. Yeah. I'm so interested that you like actually write shit out. Like I've never met a drummer outside of like jazz, like a Larnell Lewis or something where it's like,
oh shit.
Because like Larnell, he does like the active listening, and then so he'll be learning a set like on a plane, and he'll like write it out and then like be reading through it.
That's what I do. Yeah. Like I have to, like my brain will not let me do it another way. Like
do you find that like writing it out? Do you find writing the drum part out helps you like in your mind? Oh, that's crazy.
100%. Like there's so many times where I'll like be playing the song and like if I'm like, wait, what comes next? Like if I have like a moment where I like forget, I could like picture the sheet music and like I'll be like, okay, that comes next. Like that crash with the bass drum, like my mind just like will go there and I'm like, okay, well, cool. But like
so you've got like a photographic style memory, but like recalling the actual like
just like, for drums.
Yeah, like, that's crazy.
Anything
that's
else?
So weird. Nah.
I know, I'm a freak. Yeah, that is like the most like I'm so grateful that my teacher growing up taught me how to do that because it's helped me learn hundreds of songs. Like, and like, I don't know if it saved me time, but like, I just feel like if I was to do it the other way, where like, yeah, listen to it, try to play it, listen to it, try to play it. Like, I feel like that would take me longer personally, but like, it may take me like 30 minutes to an hour to like write out a song. Mm-hmm. And then like, I'll play it through however many times I need to, but I just feel like that's faster for me. But yeah, some people can just listen to it and then just play it. And it's like, that impresses the fuck out of me.
I mean, like, I will be honest with you. You are, in terms of accurate drummers, you rank very highly, like of people that I know. And so knowing that that's how you do it now, like, I'm like, okay, that definitely
it
has to be that. Like, it has to be, because every time I've seen Russ play, it's like, it's dialed, right? Like,
dude, I can't not play what is recorded. Like, I just can't.
You play the parts. I don't do that.
Dude, but like, I love that though. Like, I love drummers who just like or like musicians who play the part, but then also can like add stuff or like change it a little if they want, and like it still sounds sick. But like if I don't play what's like physically recorded, it bothers me. Like
That's crazy.
I clearly have a problem and need to
No, I'm
talk to
very
somebody.
jealous of that. Like, I really wish that I could play the exact same thing every single time. I
Dude,
can't do it.
it irks me. Like I've physically had like a hissy fit. Just like if I like mess up a part, like even just like practicing at home, like if I'm trying to like do a cover video and like I like miss that one bass drum, I'm like, I want to just flip a table. Like it just like I immediately just have the most rage. Like I'm like, why the fuck are you so stupid? Like, why didn't you get that? Like now you gotta do it all over again. Like
Fuck.
speaking of self-deprecation, but like yeah, I can't. Like I have to play what's written or like my life's over. So even now, like the new EP that we're maybe not putting out.
You're not putting it out on a label that you just signed with?
Yeah, no, maybe not. I gotta go back now and like write it out again just to make sure I'm playing what's recorded. Cause like what I'd written out to record is probably a little different than what was actually recorded now. Right. So now I gotta make sure like, okay, well, I can't sound different than the record, so I need to write it out again and relearn the songs properly. That's just me.
Dude, this is like, I know that you probably think it's funny or dumb, but to me, that's like a challenge that I am willing. Like you saying this is like, oh, I really want to try that. Like I really want to challenge myself now to write out the parts, learn it, like, and be as accurate as possible. This is crazy. I appreciate this. I don't know if anybody else listening this far is like, oh, wow, that's like really inspiring. Or if they're like, what the fuck are they even talking about?
If I can inspire one person.
Yes. To me, this is like challenge accepted. Like, dude, I will do this.
And I should try to just like listen to a song and just play it that way and not flip my drum set.
No, just whiplash that shit.
Not quite my tempo. Like, dude.
I knew that this episode was going to be long.
Oh shit. Yo, 33:48. Yo, I talk too much. I'm sorry.
We both talk too much. I knew that this was going to be a long episode, but in the sake of keeping everything under 2 hours, I'm gonna give us the final question. But
okay,
go. You know I love hanging out with you so much. Dude. So thank you for everything.
Likewise. No, thank you. I saw like I listened to a bunch of the episodes and I was like, I'm gonna talk way more than that. I'm sorry. I was like 50 minutes. I was like, I hope I can talk that little. I was like, I'm sorry. You probably got a busy day ahead.
I do not, but for the sake of consistency, I will.
Do two parts.
We'll do 2 parts. What is your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
Oh shit. I mean,
I expect a lot from you on this, honestly.
Dude, fuck the pressure. Like obviously the first thing that comes to mind is like Toronto, because like I've just lived here my entire life. Yeah. And like that's where the most memories are. But like
that's fine if you want to go with that.
That's just like, yeah, you're making me think like, oh, but like there's other places. Like but yeah, man, just here, like just growing up in the general Toronto area, like there used to be shows in like Newmarket and like Bradford, like little towns like outside of Toronto that you'd go to every weekend. And like you could see your favorite band, you could see a new band, like you could see a punk band, a ska band, a metal band, and it used to be so sick. And like I know times change and like it's hard to run a venue and it's hard to keep it going. Like you don't make that much, right? Unless it's a bigger venue in the city. Like it's hard now for the smaller towns to keep the music scene alive, I feel. But like I'm glad there's people doing it. Like shout out Rob. Shout out you guys. Like you just have to help each other. But yeah, Toronto, like definitely has the most memories for me. Just like going to shows, playing shows. Like that's where I played. One of my first shows was like downtown, and I don't know if you were ever able to go, but there was a at Bathurst and Queen Street, like kind of near Velvet Underground. Have you ever been there? There
No.
was like this 3-story purple building that was called it was called the Big Bop, but the main floor was a venue called the Cathedral. The second floor was the Reverb, and the third, we'll call it a floor, but it was definitely just like a room with like no windows and like definitely a fire hazard. It was called like Holy Joe's or something. And like that was like where I played my first like show, like when my brother and I used to have like a band. Um, but yeah, like definitely Toronto's gotta be my top. Like especially like the coffee scene here is just
Yeah.
stupid. Like you could go one block and find like 4 really good shops now. Like you used to have to go seek it out, but now we're spoiled and like, I don't know where else where
Did
else I
you,
would.
because you worked at Boxcar, right?
Rooster.
Rooster.
Yeah, yeah. I love going to Boxcar. Like that place is dope. Like when they just had like the one location, like I used to go all the time. But yeah, Rooster was the first like, you know, indie coffee shop that I worked
Yeah.
at. Like it was Starbucks originally. And then like, yeah, Rooster. Like I did 4 years at both about. And then I was like, I can't make a living off of this.
No, you cannot.
I mean, it was sick when like working at Rooster was dope because my manager at the time would just like be like, okay, like if you got to go play shows, just like let me know when you're coming back kind of thing. So like that's why I kept that job was because like I was able to go play shows here and there and not
Right.
have to worry about finding a new job when I got back. Cause like that would just again anxiety, like see ya. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I also runner up Montreal. We'll go with that.
That's a good
Like,
one.
dude, and you showed me that Cafe Pista was dope. Like I thought I knew some good coffee shops in Montreal, but then that one was like, holy shit, like how have I never been here?
Dude, there's another one up Saint Laurent, like a little bit called
Yeah,
Origin. And it's like
Origin.
a little bit different, but it's
Yeah.
just as good. They're a multi-roast shop.
Oh
And
shit.
then there's one that I have a list. I'll take you next time.
Yes,
But
please.
there's a Japanese cafe
Sold,
that's very good.
dude. What's
So
it called?
it's called Osmo.
Like the shawarma?
Yeah, but no, not Osmos. It's
Like
uh
OSMO?
yeah, OSMO. It's like Osmo by Maru-san.
Okay.
Because it's like
Oh,
a kitchen.
I have that one saved on my Google Map list. I
The shop
definitely
architecture alone is
I
fine.
remember again, picture memory, like I could see the Google listing with like the photos and like yeah, the shop looks sick. That's why I
It's
wanted to
sick.
go there. And it had good reviews too. So I was like, I should just come to Madhouse.
Just come for the hangs.
Yeah. Well, I do have weekends off. So maybe I should. But I'm not going to be feeling well the week before because I'm going to New York. But
Oh,
so I'll see if I can make the trek. I don't know. Did I tell you I'm going to see Mind Force
oh no.
in Brooklyn?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So like we're going to dog sit for my cousin and like, yeah, they're conveniently playing when I'm there.
That's
So
dope.
I'm dragging Katie there. And I'm like, we're just gonna have to stand at the back because it's
Does
gonna
she
be a
go? She
war
doesn't go to
zone.
shows.
Oh, we go like we've been to a fair amount together. Like we've seen like I drag her to my shows, obviously. But yeah, she loves that stuff. Like we went to City and Color, like we've seen the Black Keys, like 1975 Japanese House, like all that kind of stuff. And like she came with me, like I got her into Turnstile, which is sick. We went to Turnstile and like Spirit Box, like yeah,
Spirit Box.
she's showed me like some amazing bands and like I'm trying to show her some as well. So like, I love that she's open to coming to those kind of like, she loves Alexis on Fire and stuff like that.
Okay, good.
And yeah. So like, we have very similar tastes, but she's definitely made me appreciate like other bands that I never thought I would listen to. And like, she got me into Ariana Grande, and I'm just like, she's like my favorite.
That's a hard sell for me,
dude. I know. Hard sell for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, Halsey, Tate McRae, my vibe. Like, that's like, I know you're disappointed.
But it's like, not so much. It's not. I just have.
Yo, your picture of me now is just like going downhill. You're
it's
like,
not.
What's happening?
I promise it's not. You know, no. This is judgment free, but I find that music challenging to listen to.
Your face tells me otherwise.
Sorry.
No. I get it completely. I don't know what it is inside me, but it just like that music just like satisfies something for me. Like when I listen to so much like of the heavier stuff, then like I'll want to throw on something with just like a sick beat or like some catch. I love the female voice. I'll tell you that. Like any female pop song, I'm just like, let's go. Like as long as it's not completely stupid. Like,
I mean, so Miley, I like Miley.
Oh yeah, Miley all the way. Yeah.
So
Katie got me into Miley for sure.
The new album slaps.
Let's just do a tour with Miley.
I'm waiting for the call.
Yo, hold on, wait. I think this is her.
You need two drummers. So yeah. Do two drummers on tour.
It'd be like Slipknot, but Miley. Yeah, we didn't even talk about Slipknot. Yo, we gotta do this again.
Yeah, we do.
Because Slipknot was huge. How did I not say Slipknot before? Anyways,
Slipknot's huge.
Yeah, 100%. All right.
Anyway, Dillon.
Yo, Grayson.
Thank you so much for your time.
No, thanks for asking me. This is my first podcast ever.
You're a natural.
I'm like, he wanted to talk to me? I was like, I don't have anything interesting to say.
You're the only person that I know personally that has toured on Warped Tour. So that was basically the selling point.
Warped Tour used to be my nickname when I lived in Atlanta for a hot minute.
That's
because apparently I looked like I always was like, apparently I just looked like I should be at Warped Tour. Like,
you look like the human version of Warped Tour.
Bro, fuck. Like, I don't know if that's a compliment. Yeah, it was like the cut.
It's like a backhanded, it's like a German compliment.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Thank you so much for everything. Thanks for your time. I love you. You're a beautiful
love you
human.
More. You're more beautiful. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Dillon for hanging out on the podcast. Be sure to keep an eye out for the new Rust EP. They have a single out called Face Down, and they will be releasing the EP through New Age Records coming soon. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.